What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my Become Rich in GTA 5 money making series, and this will be the final video. It's going to be a little bit longer than the other ones because I'm going to jam pack this as tight as possible. So for you guys that are trying to begin and have been following all the way along, this video we will be adding the arcade, and the arcade is probably my favorite business that they added recently just because of its perks and how much easier it has made it for us to make money. So you guys, if you guys have been following along, are familiar with the game, so I can leave out some of the small details. If you are entering this video at a point where you haven't watched the rest of the series, I recommend you guys go and watch the rest of the series. I'll link that in the playlist in the top right hand corner so you guys can take advantage of that. Let's get right into how to go ahead and buy the arcade. So the first thing you're going to want to do to go ahead and buy the arcade is you're going to want to go on the internet app on your phone, then go to Maze Bank Foreclosures. If you don't see it on your main screen, you can go to Money and Services. Then once you're in the Maze Bank Foreclosures app, I recommend you filter by arcades because it just makes it easier to find the arcades. And then you're going to want to purchase an arcade. There are only 2 arcades, or maybe 3, that I'd recommend. The insert coin one is good. 8-bit is good as well, and then the one by La Mensa is good as well, but I have the Vinewood because it's near my nightclub and my other businesses, and it's just in a good location, so that's the one I'd recommend the most. Of course, insert coin is pretty north as well, but you want the 8-bit because it's near the north part of the map and a lot of the missions require you to go out there. We also have the La Mensa at $1.8 million, which isn't a bad deal. Do not buy Pixel Pete's arcade. It's not a good arcade. It's way up north. Don't buy any of the ones that are way up north like that. It's just way too far north, and it's just a pain to go all the way up there just to start your mission. So please buy one of these 3 if you're going to buy one, 8-bit being my #1 recommendation. You do not need the style upgrades, although I do like some of them. You do not need the mural upgrades, you do not need the floor upgrades, you do not need the neon art, you do not need the extras or the garage. Again, if you are going to purchase these, I recommend you purchase the extras in the garage first and then maybe purchase some of these extra styles. But again, you do not need them. You'll see that I do have them on mine, not a necessity. So we'll move forward. You guys can customize your arcade later on. So once you've purchased your arcade, you guys are going to want to go up to the manager's office where you guys will see a few things. So the first thing you'll see is the computer, and that's what I recommend you guys go ahead and do. Sit down on that computer and check it out. This is your arcade's like management computer, and this is where you guys will make some side income from this computer. So you'll be able to buy arcade games, and pretty much you buy the different arcade games and then you can fill up your arcade to make passive income. This is not the main reason why we bought the arcade. It's not a great money making method. It is a nice little side income for you guys, but again, it's not #1. You guys can of course purchase these arcade games and insert them into your arcade and experience them and have a good time with some of the games. You'll make up to $50,000 every so many hours, and it's again just some nice pocket change, but nothing that I would recommend you guys go ahead and pick up. These are definitely extras that you don't need. Consider it like the flooring and stuff like that. You can always add these on later. So without further ado, we're going to move on to the good stuff about the arcade. So if you scroll up to the top of this page, you'll see that there is arcade games, and then to the right you have upgrades. And upgrades is the real reason why we came here. You can buy something called the Master Control Terminal and the Drone Station. Now I will say the Master Terminal is my favorite thing they added in the game. You upgrade to the Master Control Terminal and you'll be able to launch missions from all your businesses in one place. Not only will you be able to launch these businesses, you'll be able to actually manage these businesses, and that means you'll be able to resupply all of your businesses from the Master Control Terminal. This is huge because 1, that means you don't have to go through MC to MC. That means you don't have to switch from Motorcycle Club to CEO office every 5 seconds. You just do it real quick in between in this terminal, and you guys can resupply all from one location. Your Motorcycle Club businesses, your nightclub you can manage your crates, you can manage your vehicle warehouse. All the businesses that we've purchased so far can be managed through this amazing terminal. And then as well as there's a drone station, which again is more of an extra. The Master Control Terminal is a necessity, but the drone station allows you to go ahead and fly a drone throughout the city, which is pretty cool. You'll be able to go ahead and fly that drone and take out a target with unlimited distance. So that's a little bit different from the Terabyte, which some of you guys may have. That drone station, this is unlimited distance, and it has a 5-minute cooldown after your drone has been destroyed. So once you leave that computer, you'll be able to go over to the safe that is in your manager's office, and you'll be able to collect your income. And you'll see here, once I open my safe, I have left it, the money icon has turned red, and that means it's full, and 50,000 will be my reward. So the reason why 50,000 is my reward and it had turned red is because it is full. It does have a max capacity, so you do have to collect it every $50,000 or else you won't be gaining income. You'll be missing out on that little extra cash, which does add up over time. One of the things I do want to show you guys here is once you start one of the heists, which we'll talk about in a bit, you will have the opportunity to have this weapons station in there for free. You don't have to pay for it. It's part of this whole heist and arcade. Once you set it up, you'll have access to that to get Mark II weapons. And it's nice that these are easily accessible through the arcade, because you will be going in and out of here quite often, especially when you're resupplying your businesses. So it's just efficient and not out of the way. So when you do your heist, if you complete it, make sure you do the setup for the next heist so you at least have that weapons upgrade station. And then I'll showcase the actual master control terminal for you guys. You guys will obviously want to check this out to your max capability so you guys know exactly what you're doing, but you do know what you're doing because this is the same thing. Your green bars are stock, your blue bars are supplies for all the businesses. It's a little bit different for every business, but when you're on that master control terminal, it's all flipped around so everything's made the same. So you can see here I'm supplying my bunker from the Los Santos city, so I don't have to go all the way out to the country where Chumash is. And you can see here I go ahead and I manage my other businesses like my nightclub, which is just again convenient because I'm not leaving here. The one thing I do want to mention is do not sell any of your businesses from your arcade, okay? You do not want to sell any of your businesses from your arcade because you will start up the mission starting from the arcade. That timer will be running down, and then you'll have to get all the way to whatever business you're selling. You've lost half your time traveling there, and then you can deliver from there. So it's not efficient to sell from here. This is mainly only for managing and resupplying. Do not sell from the arcade. Again, do what you please, but my recommendation is to never sell from the arcade. It's just not a good idea. You won't be able to protect your stock, and you won't be able to get the maximum time to deliver that supplies to the buyers. And then just to give you a quick little demonstration of that drone station, if you do choose to buy it, I don't recommend it. I almost never use it. It's kind of useless, but you can scout out the city. You guys will be able to go around here. You can actually shock people. You can go into photo mode. You can detonate the actual drone. It's an explosive, as well as they have a boost to it as well, so you can get around the city a little bit faster. But once it is destroyed, as I mentioned earlier, there's a 5-minute cooldown. So overall, don't really recommend it, but you can have up to 4 drones with your friends flying at a time, so definitely cool if you guys have a group of friends to use this little drone. I'm sure there's some fun things you can think of to do with these with a group of friends. And once you leave that area, you'll see the heist area, which is available to you guys as well. There's setup boards, you'll go through prep missions and all that. I'm not going to get into that, but this is another way you can make money through your arcade, is doing the heists. So this money making series, this Become a Millionaire series, has nothing to do with heists whatsoever. I left them out because you need people, and I wanted this to be more of a solo oriented way of making money. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys are able to make money by yourself. So this is definitely the way to go. So something I want to take a look at for overall during this series is how much money you guys will be able to make. So the first thing I want to take a look at is how much money you're going to be making with all the businesses we've worked with overall. So for the motorcycle club businesses and the bunker, we will be bringing in a total profit per sale of 1.29 million. So we'll just call it 1.3 million dollars for profits when it comes to the bunker, Forge Documents, and the other businesses with the MC business. 1.29 or 1.3 million dollars just for those businesses, and all we're doing for those is buying supplies every once in a while and then doing the sell missions. So you guys can do that every single day, especially if you use the computer AFK method that you guys will know about, most of you guys know about already, as well as the nightclub will be bringing in $1.1 million approximately every night, AFKing on there, And then we will also have the vehicle warehouse or crate warehouse of your choice. So let's just say you sell 12 cars a day. If you have a group of friends or by yourself, either way, 12 cars a day, you'll have yourself approximately another $1 million in profits just from that business as well. But overall, you'll be making anywhere from $3 to $7 million a day using these methods, especially if you repeat them all in one day. The 3.3 is kind of a bare minimum, based on if you were to only play maybe 1 or 2 hours a day. This would definitely be a profitable money making method for you guys. So before we continue on, I just want to finish off the video going over some things you guys might want to buy. And some things that I recommend you guys go ahead and buy are a nice sports car. You've worked really hard, so I love the Vista 8, just showing you guys that real quick, as well as the Up and Atomizer, as it helps you guys get stuff unstuck. It's a weapon you guys can go buy. It's like a little alien type weapon, and it shoots a little ray, and it actually pushes stuff. It's like a force push. Definitely something I recommend. And then the Terabyte. So the Terabyte is really neat in the fact that you can request it. It's like a CEO vehicle. You can request it once you purchased it out of the services section of the interaction menu, and you guys can actually go ahead and start missions and stuff off the touch screen what's in there. So you can actually start your crate missions and vehicle sourcing missions and air freight cargo missions and all those type of missions from here, as well as there's client jobs which pay around $35,000 every time you complete them. So this is a pretty good money making method for beginners, especially if a group of players that are just starting out. If one of you guys own the Terabyte and want to run client jobs when no one else has anything like a good business to run, this is a good way to make a filler. Kind of like Headhunter and Sightseer, it makes a good filler mission. Not only that, this area has a weapons workshop as well, kind of like the arcade, and you can actually customize your Mark II oppressor, which brings me to the next thing I recommend you buy, which would be a Mark II oppressor. A lot of people are against the Mark II oppressor, but it's a useful tool, and I believe it's necessary for you guys to have that if you're running the businesses the way I am here. It just cuts down on time and makes things super efficient. And then we cannot forget the buzzard. Just because we have the new DLC that has come out and we have the Mark II oppressor and all that cool stuff, we can't forget the buzzard, as it is a very useful vehicle still to this day because it's super easy to request. It has missiles, it's fast, and it insta spawns, so it doesn't take much time. And another benefit to this is that your friends can request it for free when they're in your CEO. So that's just super beneficial. You guys have to pick up a buzzard. They work around 1.7 million off the top of my head. Definitely pick yourself up a buzzard. And then when you're done doing that, I recommend you guys go ahead and head over to the clothing store, buy yourself some armored suits, go ahead and buy yourself some other things. But if you want to have the suit that I have, I know a lot of people have been asking, you're going to want to go up to the lady at the front desk, go to outfits, and then go to finance and felony, then go all the way to the bottom and it'll be like the third one up. It's called Valor. That's the suit I wear for those that have been asking about my character's outfit, so you guys can go ahead and pick that up for a steal of a deal. Some special mentions include the Kuruma. The Kuruma is a great vehicle still to this day for doing missions. They have completely bulletproofed this vehicle pretty much. It's not rocket proof or anything like that. It can take like one sticky bomb or something once you have the max armor, but overall it will blow up very, very easy. But it is bulletproof, and it's just been so useful to do certain heists and stuff like that. It's just super, super useful. Another things that I recommend is Mobile Operations Center and Avenger. The reason why I'm not mentioning Kostka is because this whole series was based off of before the KO Perico update. So if you guys are wondering why I left that stuff out of the series, is because this series is going to be a little bit dated in a certain way, but it's definitely going to be useful in getting the basics down. The Kinjali is definitely a vehicle that I recommend as well. It's just fun to play with and it gets rid of most griefers. But overall, those are the vehicles that I definitely recommend you guys go ahead and buy. With the update, I'm going to be releasing a new mini series for solo players. But overall, everything you guys have learned throughout this series, I hope it's helped you guys make money on GTA 5 Online, and I hope you guys understand the game a bit more if you were just beginning and have followed me throughout the entire series. If you like the series, please don't forget to drop a like on this video, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching.